welcome to this very special series, Wise with Edelweiss. Joining me today is Radhika Gupta, who's the CEO at Edelweiss Asset Management and one of the most dynamic leaders of the Indian mutual fund industry. Thanks very much, Radhika. Always a pleasure talking to you. We have seen a lot of downside in the market, and though we've seen certain periods where the market has bounced back, we are still way off, the peaks that we went through. Data is still flowing in, Radhika, in terms of the redemptions. There are certain categories where we have seen heavy redemptions. But again, if you look at the SIP book, for example, there's not been a very significant fall in that. People have dropped off, but people have also come in. So next question is that, what if there was a sudden surge of redemption that a mutual fund faces, say 10% or even 20%? What would happen then to the mutual fund? Is that a question that an investor should be asking of a CEO?
Yes, and I think it is a broader question about liquidity. And I think liquidity is a word that, investors have started to ask this question in the last 2-3 months, because when they invest in a mutual fund, they ultimately are investing in a liquid asset class. They expect to get their money back when they hit the redemption button. It is my belief that we don't monitor liquidity enough in our funds, and it's not just debt funds, it's equity funds as well. I'll tell you one of the metrics I look at as a CEO, and I have a dashboard that comes to me every week. In each of my funds, if I had to liquidate my holdings and liquidate it reasonably, knowing how much volume there is in the market, etc., without hammering the stock or bond prices, how many days could I liquidate in my holdings in? How much of my portfolio could I liquidate in 5 days? How much could I liquidate in 2 days? How much will take more than 10 days? So if I find out that to liquidate even 5% of my portfolio will take me more than 10 days, then that to me is a very, very scary outcome as an investment manager. So I think this question of what will happen if you get an extraordinary amount of redemptions is something we must ask. It's especially relevant in some of the categories. I think small cap funds, mid cap funds, credit kind of funds, anything where the underlying asset class is illiquid. It's something to ask, and I must tell you, it's something that we monitor very, very tightly. I mean, I look at a weekly dashboard of all my funds on liquidity.
Always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much, Radhika, for joining me on this special series, and look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you, and all the best.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.